Today we're going to be talking about something that is my favorite part of budgeting, and it has really become our secret weapon. I can't wait, so let's get into it. Hi, I'm Cassie, and welcome to Savvy Cents, where we share budgeting strategies, money saving tips, and tools to live the life that you want. We had been budgeting for quite a while when I found our secret weapon. And what had been happening is we would get these bills throughout the month for things like car registration or car insurance or property taxes. And they were really big bills, and we hadn't been budgeting for those items that we knew inevitably were going to be coming up. And so every single time we would get one of these bills, we would be dipping into our savings account to pay for them. And so at that point, I realized something needed to change. And that is when I found out about sinking funds. And I am not being dramatic when I say that sinking funds really changed the game for our budget. Because instead of having to constantly dip into our savings account, we were able to set money, like small amounts of money too, aside every single month. And then when those big bills would come, I was able to just transfer that money over and not impact our savings account at all. It really lifted a burden off of our shoulders because we weren't having to keep having all these setbacks in our budget when we were making momentum with our savings account. Also, what's great about sinking funds is you can add a new category whenever you want to. So say your car's getting a little bit old and you know that you're going to need to buy a new car coming up soon. Well, you can, start a line item that says new car, and whatever money you can every month, just put it over there. And that way it'll lessen the burden when you do actually need a new car and you're able to put more down or hopefully be able to pay cash before you actually have to buy a new car. So it really is a gift that you can give yourself if you're able to implement these sinking funds. You may be asking yourself, what is a sinking fund? Sinking funds are money that you set aside every month from your budget in order to basically save up for something that you know is going to happen. So it could be car insurance or car registration. It could be your property taxes. It can even be stuff that you don't get a bill for. So it could be stuff like vacations that you want to save up for, or holidays or birthdays. So it's any cost that is expected, and then you're basically saving up small amounts of money each month to eventually pay that off or pay for it. The difference between a sinking fund and just a emergency savings account or a regular savings account is sinking funds are meant to be fluid, and what that means is money is meant to go into them and out of them. So you'll put money into a sinking fund every month, and then if you get a bill for something, say your property insurance, then you'll transfer that money back out. The money is meant to move back and forth freely, whereas a savings account or an emergency fund, those are not fluid. So you're meant to transfer money into those, and the money is meant to stay in there. In the case of an emergency fund, it's meant to come out if you truly have an emergency. Otherwise, that money is meant to stay there. Like I said before, sinking funds are my very favorite budgeting thing to talk to. I'm so excited. So let's head to the spreadsheet. Just a reminder that our budget is basically our income, which is our paycheck typically, minus our expenses, our debts, our savings, and our sinking funds. So for today's purposes, we are going to be working with our sinking fund area right here. If you're looking for a video about how to set up your entire budget, go ahead and check out Emily's video. She does a really great in-depth video about how to set this all up. So today we're going to be working in our sinking funds, and we actually have a sinking fund tracker, so I'm going to head on over there. So this will be our sinking fund tracker for the rest of this year, as you can see. So what we're going to start off with is filling in these totals for our sinking fund tracker. And how we're going to do that is we've already come up with the totals on our budget snapshot. So now we're going to go ahead and fill those in so we can start keeping track of our sinking funds. So to do that, we don't have any starting total because we're starting from zero. Here's April 2021, and we're going to come over here to our April 2021 budget, and we are going to grab each of these totals. So now we know, and we knew this before too, that when we get paid, and we've done our paycheck breakdown on a video that I did, but we know that when we're paid on the first, we're going to transfer that amount of money over to our sinking fund bank account. And I really encourage you to have your own account set up for just sinking funds to deal with all of these numbers, so that way you can transfer your money back and forth as you need to, because every month you're going to be making deposits, and then if you get a bill for a property tax or your car insurance or your property insurance, you're going to have to transfer that money back over to your checking if you get a bill, so that you can pay with it with either a check, your debit card, or your credit card. We've gotten paid and we've transferred the $13.25 over to our sinking fund. And now that money is in our sinking fund bank account. Now, say at the very end of April, a friend of ours is having a birthday party, and I went to Target and I bought her a present for $24.87. This is where we would track that. And so what becomes really nice about this is it becomes a tracking system for you. So, in December 2021, you can go back and say, how much did I spend on birthdays and holidays in April? And you can go back and check in with that. So let's say we went to Target and we used our debit card and we paid $24.87. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go into our sinking fund spreadsheet, find holidays, birthdays, subtract $24.87 right there. So now we know that we have $25.13 left in that specific account for holidays and birthdays. And then we will go to our sinking fund bank account and we will transfer the money from our sinking fund bank account over to our checking account. So we're basically paying ourselves back. And then if you did it with your credit card, say you made the Target payment with your credit card, you would do the same thing. When I make a payment for my credit card, it comes right out of my checking account. So if that's the same case for you, this would be the same thing. So then what's great too about this is there's a running total, and you can look at your sinking fund bank account and see what the total is and make sure it's accurate and everything matches each other, because you definitely want to be checking that to make sure everything is reconciled and everything is adding up to each other. So now say we popped a tire, and so we're going to do the same thing for car maintenance. So we're going to take that $135, transfer over to our checking account, and either pay ourselves back if we paid with our debit, or have that money sitting in our checking account ready to be paid over to our credit card. Now, say it's May 2021, and you have all this money still sitting in your sinking fund account. So what you need to do is you need to transfer all of this money over, because it is still sitting there. Now you get paid. So you're going to go to your May 2021 budget and you're going to do the same thing. You have $500 now in your property tax account, and you are going to come over here and do your actuals. And you are going to do the same thing again for the entire month of May. So now it's May 2021. You would go to your snapshot and your broken down paycheck. It's now the 1st and you got paid. So the same thing, you would take your $13.25 and you would transfer it from your checking account where you got paid into your sinking fund. And then you would show that you have $26.40 and 13 cents. And you would do the same exact thing every other month. Thank you so much for joining me today while I talked about all things sinking funds related. I hope that you got something out of it. If you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And we would love to have you be a part of our community here at Savvy Cents. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. So let's get a conversation going. What was the one thing that you loved the most about this video? Have you tried sinking funds in the past and they haven't worked? I would love to hear from you. So go ahead and leave a comment below, and we can't wait to see you in the next one.